Today you may find yourself in an unexplainable problem or major chaos in your life, or maybe you're married to an unchangeable person. Stress is mounting, you're becoming depressed, anxious, stressed out, fatigued, all of the physical symptoms and problems that we get when we become overwhelmed. I'm Kirsten with Daily Devotion. Today I'd like to talk about a surrendered life to Christ. Psalm 37:7 says, "Surrender yourself to the Lord and wait patiently for Him." Are you doing that? I have to ask myself that every day, sometimes multiple times a day. This is what I hear God saying to me when I start trying to take control of my life and my situation to try to make it better. I hear Him saying, "Kirsten, every time a problem comes, you look to yourself to fix it. You try to figure out what's wrong, and you don't even give me the chance. So," He tells me, "since you are taking the lead and taking charge, I will step back." This is what happens when we become in charge of our life and think we can do it better and we can make things work and make it happen. He steps back. Not to say He's not with us. He just steps back and lets us take it until we become fatigued, tired, and want to cry out to Him. And Hagar, if you remember that story in the beginning of the Bible where Sarah tries to control and manipulate the situation in order to have children. She asks Hagar to sleep with her husband Abraham and so that a child can be born and can be conceived and be born. And you recall the stress that occurs in the family with that. Not only is Sarah affected, she becomes jealous of the mistress. The mistress becomes jealous of her. They have contention, and then it causes marital problems between Sarah and Abraham. So all that because she took control. She didn't wait for God. She didn't let God lead and take control of the situation and give a child when the time was right, which eventually they did have their own child, Isaac. So look at the stress and turmoil she caused for herself and for her family, all because she chose to control. She chose to take the lead. While God's mother, Rebecca, told Jacob to deceive his father into thinking he was Esau. Well, look at what happened with that. Look at the turmoil between Jacob and Esau for many years of their life. Jacob was afraid of Esau. He was afraid he was going to be killed, and this caused family turmoil and family stress, all because Rebecca chose to try to control the situation to make it the way she thought needed to work out. So look what happens when we try to take control. Turmoil and stress and it doesn't just upset us, but it causes ripple effects and upsets and stresses out the people that are in our lives. Let's look at Mary and Joseph. They didn't try to control the situation. When Mary became impregnated with Jesus, it was miraculous. Joseph could have disowned Mary. He could have, shunned her, pushed her away, and he probably would have, in that culture, had every right to do that. But he chose to believe her and that she wasn't having an affair, that she, didn't get pregnant out of wedlock with some other man. He chose to believe her and trust in her and stay with her, okay? Even though every desire, I'm sure, inside of him didn't want to. And then look at Mary. She could have manipulated the situation and known she was pregnant and asked maybe Joseph to sleep with her so that then she could say, well, this is Joseph's baby. But then what would have happened? They both chose to let God lead, and whatever happened, they would follow. They would go through it. Think of Mary and Martha's story. Mary and Martha were the sisters, and Martha was the busy sister when Jesus came to visit. She was stressed out and crazy, trying to control, make things clean, make sure the food was properly prepared and that everybody was going to have a good time and feel comfortable, all the while Mary was sitting at Jesus' feet at peace. Martha became upset. I am working. I am trying this. I am trying to make things better. I am trying to make everybody comfortable and do all this. Jesus, tell Mary to help me. This is not right. Well, Jesus says, Mary's doing the right thing. She is sitting at my feet. She is at peace. She is at rest. While you, Martha, are stressed out, trying to fix, trying to control the situation. So it's not that Martha was wrong in trying to do this. It's just priorities. Are you putting Christ first? Are you surrendering your life to Christ, or are you trying to do it so that He takes a back seat? All right. So Mary was putting Jesus first, and she had the peace of mind that we all strive for and we all desire in our surrender control. Well, Jesus' example is perfect. Think of the night before he was crucified. He cried out. He was scared. He was stressed. He knew he was going to die. And the stress he had, he just cried out to God, God, if you can take this cup from me, please do. I don't want this to happen. But not my will, but your will be done. He still knew that even though he was scared and he didn't want this to happen, he knew that whatever plan God had for him and for humanity would be the ultimate goal and the ultimate gift and blessing. So he was scared to death. He was so scared that he was sweating blood. That he must have been had such intense fear, and fear of the unknown that sometimes scares women. I once heard women control to the level of their fear, and I believe this to be true. Fear of the unknown, fear of what's going to happen, it can cause us to want to control more. We can't let it. Jesus sweated until he sweated blood, but he said, not my will be done, but yours, Lord. Be like Mary. Sit at Jesus' feet every day. This is how we can surrender our life. Sit at his feet. Take time. Set aside a time during the day when you can spend with him and meditate on his word. Don't just read it, but read it, understand it, live it, and meditate on it. Because the more we are filled in our mind and in our heart with Jesus and his word, the more we start to trust him. You can't trust someone you don't know, and I always say that. You have to know who you're trusting. You know you're surrendered to Christ when you aren't demanding your own rights. Let go and let God work. You don't have to be in control of your life. Give it to him. It's hard enough trying to do it ourselves. So we need to let go, let God work. Instead of trying harder, let's try to trust more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.